So I've got task 4.2. So basically what I've done is with the revised code, the first section of this, I've taken out a lot of the code and assigned it to functions. So now the main function is pretty much limited to this. So I've created a getMax, draw console, select list, new task, and update list functions. So you can see those here. GetMax, just taking this chunk of code, put it in the getMax function. What it takes is the strings of individual tasks, work tasks, and family tasks. Draw console, same three arrays, and also just takes a max as an int. It's pretty much the same code, just been put in the functions. Select list, basically just prompts the user to select a list or a category. Task, very similar. And update list, this just takes whatever was put in from the user here, and then it basically just processes that by assigning it. And yeah, so first user Instamax, then the console's drawn, they enter the selected task, they enter the new task, and it's processed. So as you'd expect, personal, eat dinner, work, go to work, personal, have shower, family, visit mum. Works as you'd expect it. So that's the first part. So I'll just change this so then we can go here. Just go down to our main sort of function. So with this one, I decided that I needed to create 3 extra classes. There's a task class, because a task basically has a date, a name, and a bool representing whether it's an important task or not. There's also internal methods that I've created that would help out with this. So I've tried to encapsulate as much as I could. So public accessor, get name, get date, get importance, and then set importance. Then there's a category. Category has a name and a list of tasks. I wasn't sure how to properly encapsulate a list, so if you could let me know how to do that, that'd be good. But I've ended up just making all lists public at the moment. So there's a constructor. You can get its name. You can get its size based on the amount of tasks. You can add a task. You can delete a task because tasks ultimately belong to categories. You can get a task, so this sort of looks through to see if a task exists, and also internally the get task is used by delete task and add task to see if it already exists. So you can change a task's priority. That basically just changes its place in a list. So in order to change priority, the task that you're asking to change has to actually exist. The priority, the priority has to be less than the total amount of the list, but it also has to be greater than 0 or equal to 0. and then it will remove the task and remove the task from the list it's in, and then put it in the new given list. See, this is also called later on. There's a lot of this is to be used sort of internally by the category database, which is sort of the overriding one. So category database has categories, and then the categories have the tasks. You can add a category. Very similar functions here. The get categories almost well, it is the same pretty much as get task, and so is delete category, and add category is the same as add task and delete task. Transfer task. If you want to transfer a task from one category to another, you have to receive the task name that you want to change, the category name you want it to go to, and the category name you want it to go from. So it just goes through, does that. If the to category exists, and from category actually exists, and task into exists, doesn't exist, you want to make sure that the task you're trying to add isn't already a thing. And task in from doesn't exist. Get max just basically returns the greatest size of tasks in any category. So list of tasks that's the greatest from any category. It all runs here, so it's basically all it needs to do is you establish it like this. You just add your original things in. First of all, you instantiate the database, then you add your original categories, and then after that it only has to run two functions. It draws a console and it processes an option every time. So first of all, and that processed option comes from the get option function. So get option, you basically it displays the options that are possible. The user can enter them in. They select an option, then it calls process option receives that, and then there's a switch statement where it basically goes through. Each one of these is a function. So add task receives a database. They all rely on the database. You'll enter the task name. You enter its due date. You enter the category name. And if the category exists and the task currently isn't in that category, but that check is handled by the category itself, then you can enter it in and it will appear. Remove a given task from a given category. That's what remove task does. So as long as the category exists and the task also exists, which is checked in this, then it can be removed. Create a new category. So you can add a task, remove a task. You can also add a category, remove a category. It's very similar. Transfer a given task from a given category to a given category. So it basically needs three things from the user: the name of the task, the category it's coming from, and the category it's going to. And this one allows you to highlight a task. So if a task has the boolean set to important, if that's set to true, then it will be highlighted in red. Change price, task priority, that's just basically its position in the list. And then draw console. So basically clear with every iteration, we want to clear it and draw it again. I changed the color to white. I found the blue pretty hard to read. This is basically just the formatting of all of it. So for each category in the database, you gotta write down its name. Basically just more formatting. So you want to draw basically a row every time. And then you want to do that for every category. And if the task happens to be important, draw it in red and then set the color back to white. So I'll show you how this works. So we want to add a task. Enter the task name. Eat dinner. Enter the due date. Today. Enter a category name. It is personal. There you go, eat dinner. Eating dinner is pretty important. So what we want to do is highlight it as important. The task name is eat dinner and the category is personal. That's now marked as red. So say there's I don't know, say we want to do something else that day too. We'll add a task to personal again. No wait, let's do something different. Let's add a task to work. Oh, I accidentally called it work. Oh well. We can have a work. We can have work in work, whatever. We'll do it that day. This can go and work. It's alright. And say we want to transfer work to personal for whatever reason. So we're transferring from work. We're putting in personal. And the task name is called work. So that's in there. So let's say we want to change the priority of the dinner and work. Personal. Work. Give it top priority. There we go. So let's say we want to add a new category. Let's call it, I don't know, what else is there? Hobby. We now have hobby. And let's say, I don't know, we quit our job, so we no longer have work. Let's say we remove the remove the category. We'll remove family. We give up on our personal life, we don't have much going on, we remove category. Personal, the task will go now too. Personal. Now, what else do I need to show you? Alright, let's add one more task. Work. (20, 19, 20, 21). Get job. Oh, what did I do? I think I made a typo. Add task. Get job. 20, 20, 2020. So see, we've got an incorrect date there. So let's say we wanted to get rid of that because that doesn't make much sense. Get job work, and that's gone. So that's that task done.